So after watching so many different variations of gameplays and trailers for the Death Stranding, I can finally comprehend what the hell is going on. Alright, so well, stop and think for a minute. It's very well maybe very simple to dismiss a generally accepted fact. Now, each game begins as a straightforward idea. This is valid for each and every video game in the business, truly. Even those of the Hideo Kojima games as well. Now, it seems like, as an obscure and without a doubt cryptic as his games seem to be, every one of them has an idea that is easy to understand at the heart of them. You will need to cut through the great deal of bullshit to discover it, however. It's there, settled behind the muddled bunch of subjects he appears to be in some kind of goal or an investigation. Now, to comprehend Death Stranding, the expectations behind its account and the sort of the game is attempting to be. You have to disregard the BBs, BTs, and strangely captivating urination system anyway. Now, disregard the well-known appearance with the new voices, and a tornado of clashing sci-fi tropes wrestling for your consideration at any one given moment in time. Hideo Kojima has since a long time endeavored, fairly unsuccessfully, to clarify that Death Stranding was a game about the connections. It has taken another away from the public scrutiny exhibitions. At last, gave me an unmistakable thought of the purpose behind his labored clarifications. Now, Death Stranding in all reality is really about the connection. What truly stood out to me was exactly how basic this game is actually in the center. Death Stranding is a game about strolling. As Sam goes, you most likely know him from readers. You're tested with the walking from the east coast of America to the west, reactivating various communication nodes along the way in an effort to spread a message of hope to the nation that was become fragmented and disconnected. Taking the idea of the unity to pockets of the isolated populace that trades in the ambivalence of the rather than love. That is pretty much Death Stranding. Thus you will walk, you will follow the footsteps of Emily, a daughter of the President of the United States of America, who set out on her own east and west travel with a convoy at some point before the game's jump starts. She did this trying to establish a network of communication relays across the country. A system that could convey a message of unity from her mom, Bridget. That message is to each issue on the planet needing to be tackled by power, rather it's trusted that can be united all to us. This is a fundamental after the central Knot City was decimated in a terrorist attack, though through the use of the irresponsible void-outs. Now, the act of coming back from the other side from the game's antagonist. This has pushed pockets of human advancement to separate themselves from the administration and from one another in fear, deciding to rather go at it alone in the wilderness. Off on the edge of the Pacific in the Edge Knot City by the name, home to the gathering being painted as a decentralized force, separatism and a terrorism. The homo demons who are resolved to guaranteeing their own independence. It's making a course of the Edge Knot City, on the road to building a bond with the most dangerous and disconnected portion of this vision of a fractured America. Whereas Emily was captured, she appears to Sam as a hologram projection in everything that we have seen so far, never aging. Looking to him as he did back on that beach. She is safe, she tells Sam, and she's free to talk to him and use the facilities as much as she likes. She isn't in prison, she is keen to note. She just isn't able to leave the confines of the Edge Knot City. Connect the country up to the communication network, check whether you can save Emily from homo demons and their pioneer, Higgs, the man in the golden mask, played by Troy Baker. The spread to also spread the message of the dying president to end the generally irreversible break of society. Now there's your story in the Death Stranding. It's not any more confusing than that. It's the drive that makes you travel through the world and the center of the inhabitant to the ongoing interactions. Its remainder is pretty much all the noise. Death Stranding is a game about journey, about activating communication relays, and about delivering parcels and messages, packages to isolated corners of the America in an attempt to establish social strands. building bonds with your fellow man in the effort to inspire hope in a dying society. I also kind of know about the Sam's necklace. I realized that we all had a lot of fun with the Death Stranding hypothesis. I'm attempting to work out what the Sam's jewelry is and what it makes speak to. It's a captivating riddle. I think it would be, isn't it? A necklace is 6 labels, each engraved with its different conditions. A gadget that appears to oppose gravity now and again. Quite interesting. It turns out this jewelry is a Q-pip, allocated to Sam's by Die Hardman, a man wearing a dark mask in the trailers, if you have noticed. In away from the plain view video, that builds as a story of the arrangement of the game. Now, that jewelry is a security key, not like a cool key that upsets the texture of the time and adjusts reality throughout the Einstein's conditions that we've been widely theorizing for quite a long time. Yet, unfortunately, it's just an actual real key. You know that the sort of key that mailmen bear with them to open post boxes anyway. That's right. The Q-pip is utilized to open the Cryon terminals. The communication relay is out in the world that has been taken offline. The thought here is that Sam is to connect every one of the terminals to the general system from their individual station control panels, which will all that point make a bond or, a strand. Interface the terminal to the system, and the unified urban areas of the America can expand the range of its message somewhat further and in step endeavor of the modifying association of among the country. Also, in short, regarding Sam, you have to just simply considering him as an engineer appointed by the US government to gradually connect the country over actually fixing damaged telephone lines, pretty much in simplest way. As you build up these connections, right, you can draw open the guide and keep tabs on your progress over the country. There's a clear radial spray denoting how much of the area has been marked following its connections to the network. Meters pop up on the demonstrator of the strands you have made with the different NPCs as you complete the bring missions for them. Deliver them with their emails or mails, I should say. Frankly, after seeing this segment of the game, I'm not so much unconvinced that this is anything but the game worked around the synchronization perspective of the Assassin's Creed, for example. Now, however, a game with a straightforward thought and a basic message, that is something to be thankful for, in line of the fact that by any large, we already know next to nothing about the game, and it's a bit alarming given the Death Stranding release coming in November 8. Now, but I'm here to explain, and I already did most of it, already explain what the hell it's all about. We have no genuine handle on what the combat mechanics will resemble. Kojima keeps up that it's anything but a stealth game. However, we haven't seen anything despite that might be expected. Well, we additionally don't really have a clue about the other side and the connection of the umbilical strings and cord, I should say, that connects the baby and a mother. Well, how did that even happen, I should say. Of course, unquestionably, we don't have a clue why Kojima appears to have such a goal to structure the story strings around the decaying babies. In any case, I do realize that there will be a great deal of walking, a lot of activating points of interest, a lot of fetch quests, and a straightforward story throughout the line that is anything but difficult to get a handle on. Everything is considered here. I think it's still goddamn sufficient for me anyway. So, to summarize off the script right now, this game is really all about the connection. In the simplest term, as you can understand the connection, take out the BTs, BBs, all that, and the other side out of your head for now. This is it. This is what you will be doing, the basic concept of the game. You will be walking point A to point B. While you're doing it so, you will be gradually encountering with different things as well. Your main objective as of right now is to connect all the societies, different societies I should say, all together so we can finally get this stranding. And once you've done it so, obviously you're going to be bringing all the packages because you are more or less of an engineer that fixes these connections and a bit of a messenger as well. Since you are delivering and you are having these difficult moments in your journey. Obviously, you're going to be encountering a lot of stuff, but that's just a simple concept of the game that you can understand. Hopefully, it made sense for you. Now, I have to mention this before I go. Don't ask me a question, for example, where do BTs come from? You know, for example, why can they be spotted, why something else not work? Don't ask me questions. It's like saying where do humans were born. Hideo Kojima might not even have that kind of an answer. Some questions need not be answered, and that's just a fact. It's just life goes. Similarly, but whatever. Anyway, thank you so much again. Have a good one.